All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chris. Morning, Diane. So, looks like I need to fix the quality of the stream. I could definitely make it a little bit better. So I'll work on that. Let's see. So SPY down 0.7%, Q's down 0.7%. Rejected this previous resistance again. So SPY, what are we going to look at today? Right, we have this previous double bottom, which was a resistance, right? So we're looking at the same levels again. All right, same levels again today. So if SPY breaks through 371.62, we got a long way to go, guys. All right, if that breaks, we're seeing 370 and then 368. So that's exactly what I'm looking at. So I kind of want to see a drop down. I don't really care what happens, right? So I want to see either a drop down or a breakout over that shelf on Qs. SPY, kind of the same thing, right? Previous resistance, support, kind of a little fake out here. But we have that level 447.3. We're sitting at the lows down 0.7%. So yeah, my Qs, sorry. This is SPY. So 447.3. Right, if this drops down, we should see a move down to these lows here, 444. So that's what I'm looking at there. NVIDIA, today might be our day of the drop down, right? So we had this flag, right? It's been bouncing back and forth, and it's been rejecting this previous resistance or this previous support as a new resistance. So if this starts to drop down and it starts to break this double bottom that we had, I would look for an entry around here, which is 445.4, and then a breakdown with continuation. So that's what I'll look at for NVIDIA. Netflix looks solid still, down 1% here pre-market. Good thing we exited, right? So swinging is obviously always risky, but good thing we exited, and it's right back within the range. So it needs some more time again. Meta looks solid again. It needs to hold these lows, right? We have this previous support, and it needs to hold these lows, right? It needs to hold here so it can start to curl up and break out through 318.4. Simple as that. Microsoft swung overnight. Good thing we cut half the position, down 0.8%. Everything's down, everything's weak. So probably if it doesn't hold here, I'll probably just cut that position and we'll move on to the next. BABA down 3% below this huge level here, right? Support, and broke through pre-market. It could definitely push down to, I'd say 91, right? This zone here, right? Resistance, support, right? So that would be the next level I would look for. It also lines up perfectly with that. So look at that. Let's see, AMD, not going to watch. Looks choppy. Tesla, too choppy. Google broke out yesterday. Saw a great run, but it's right back in the range, down 0.7%. Not really any actionable setup here, though, in my opinion. Amazon also down 1%, but not really any actionable setups. Apple had this little flag. All right, here's a little bear flag. Little bear falling wedge. So if it starts to reject here, we could definitely watch for some downside. So I'm going to set my alert at the middle here. I'm going to set my alert above. That way I could be notified if it starts to drop this way, and I could look for puts potentially. Coin, too choppy. Square, not doing much. Shop, no thanks. Rivian sitting at the support, right? Support. So if it can't hold here, it's going to drop down. Kind of create this little bear flag here. And now it's looking for that continued downside. continued downside. So top watch is NVIDIA. Netflix we can potentially watch for upside too if it holds. Meta, I'll definitely be looking at Meta to the downside if it can break below here, 309. And then just Q's and SPY. All right, if Q's doesn't hold this double bottom, we're going to see a big move to the downside today. Okay. Yeah, I went over Tesla, but like very briefly, there's really no setup here. I can even delete this and redo it. There's nothing here, right? I'm like, there's no point in forcing a setup, right? This previous support, you know, we have this previous double bottom here, right? Support, support, you know, it wasn't able to hold, reclaimed, and then now it's back down pre-market. So, you know, there's really no setup there. Yeah, nothing really to take a look at there. Airbnb. Let's take a look. If anyone has any good setups, let me know. So if anything, this looks a little bearish. All right, we kind of have this flag to the downside. Now, where do we want to draw this from, right? We can either draw it like that, which is still kind of bearish, or we can even draw it like that, which is also bearish. That looks a little bit better, a little wedge. Yep, this could definitely be a red day. Hey, what's up, Mal? How you doing? Right, so for this, we can even take the fibs, low to high. I mean, high to low, technically. Right off the 3A2. Looks pretty good to the downside, Airbnb. MSTR. No chance. Anything that looks like this, I would never touch. Walmart. So Walmart's kind of sitting at this shelf, right? Look how many times it rejected. Resistance, 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 right? Broke through, kind of pulled back, now kind of acting as a support. So if it can hold here, right, it looks good for possible continuation. Just so it would just need to hold here. You got it. Yeah, Airbnb looks definitely decent for some downside. It also just, so look at this, right? This previous resistance from back then acted as support, and now it's acting as resistance again. So that just makes the claim or the thesis even stronger, right? This is a very big shelf to get through, big resistance to break through, and it could, right, break down and helps build the thesis even more. So it definitely looks decent. I'll add to the watch list just to keep an eye on, just so I can see how this played out. Target. Not really. Target's right, gapping down, and you know, there's really no setup there. Costco. Let's see. So Costco, right, has this double bottom in place. Has these lower highs. This looks pretty solid, right? You can take an entry through 559, 56, or here, 561.29. So if it can hold here, fine. But it looks like we might break down a little bit and test that double bottom here on Costco. So that looks pretty decent. Yeah, Apple's green. It's funny because it saw a massive sell-off the last few days. But what goes down? I was gonna say what comes up must go down, but that wouldn't really apply here. But it's it's just doing a little bit of bounce, dead cat bounce probably. Coin. Inverse head and shoulders with a retest flag. I don't know about an inverse head and shoulders here. This is just a downtrend. Only thing is with this is we do have the previous resistance. Right, rejected. Now it's starting to act as a support. So if there is a level that it bounces, it's going to be here. Right, so if we can break through 87.63, could potentially consider it to go long with a stop loss below, right? Great risk to reward. Take an entry at that level, stop loss below, and price target you can even set all the way up here, right? 4.9 to 1 risk to reward. So that's pretty solid. All right, nice little candle there, dipped below, buyer stepped in. So potentially could look at that. I'll set an alert just in case, and we'll see what happens. Could we see some downside continuation on SPY? 100%. If SPY breaks through the support and then takes out the low here from last Friday, 446, I think we see 444 for sure. Definitely. If everyone could drop a like in the video, that'd be great. What are my thoughts on Microsoft? 325.95. That's this low here. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid support, right? We have this previous support here, acted as a support multiple times here. And higher lows, lower highs. So, looks pretty good. No problem. No problemo. Everyone always freaks out over a loss. All right. If you guys are freaking out over a loss, you will not be trading in a month. I'm telling you. You have to remove emotions. You can't be scared of losing. You can't. If you're scared of losing, you will not be trading. You heard it here first. You need to have a plan going into the trade. You need to understand that you're going to lose a lot of trades, right? A 50% win rate means out of 100 trades, you lose 50 trades. A 60% win rate, you lose 40 trades. A 70% win rate, you lose 30 trades, right? Get it in your head that you're going to lose trades. No one wins all the time. No one wins all the time. Top hedge funds in the world have a 50 to 60% win rate. They just have a higher risk to reward. So if you expect to win every trade, I wish you luck. You need to be able to manage the downside, right? I always say there's 5 outcomes to a trade. Small gain, a small loss, break even, a big gain, and a big loss. Only number 5, the big loss. If you can eliminate the big loss, you are 95% of all traders. Right, if you can eliminate that big loss, you are ahead of everyone. Yep. So you just need to manage that downside, right? Because the big gains will come, right? They come here and there. Stick to the plan, trade a setup, and the big gains come, right? Every week they happen. You know, you just got to be consistent. Doing this for 5 years and still a 46.4% win rate. Well, you gotta tone in. You gotta hone in and figure out, you know, what's going wrong. You know, a 46% win rate, you could still make money with, as long as the risk to reward is fine. But you got to get that to 50 or 60%. Got to get that to 50 or 60% minimum, I'd say. Or take higher risk to reward plays. Net. Don't know what that is. Oh, Cloudflare. Too much chop, right? You're basically just trading in this range. There's really no setup here. FSLR. Yeah, even like a 30 or a 25% win rate could work. You would just need a very good risk to reward. So, I mean, this is kind of flagging a little bit, not the best. Yeah, I'm just trying to like force something here at this point, but it doesn't really look like anything. So NVIDIA is going to be the top watch today, right? If it can reject here again, I'll look to the downside. Let's see. Meta, I'll see if it can hold here. Microsoft, I'll probably cut. Let's see what else. Airbnb, I'll watch also. And that's really it, guys. So 2 minutes until 9:20. BKNG, let's see. I haven't looked at this in a long time. So booking has been moving straight up. Really no setup. There's no accidental setup here to take, though. Everyone loves Diz. Everyone loves Disney. I just like this is not something I would want to trade. Especially long term. Like, look at this chart. It's just dying. I mean, if you want to pick it up off the bottom, potentially. But who knows if this is the bottom. ABBV. I really just suggest sticking with the main names, guys. Everyone keeps fluctuating to, you know, these random names, random companies. Like this is a solid flag, but how's the volume? Is there even volume on the contracts? That would be my biggest question and my first question, the most important question. Right, so you could take it through here, and there's a gap to fill to the upside, but is there volume in the contracts? Is it going to move? You're going to be able to get out of the position? I really just suggest sticking to the main names. There's no need to constantly fluctuate or deviate from these names. Makes it very easy. If there's no setup, then you don't trade, right? You don't have to trade every single day, and that's really that. So with that being said, 10 minutes to market open. I'm going to go make myself a coffee and get the Zoom set up. So thank you everyone for stopping by. If you guys could drop a like in the video, I would appreciate it. And going to go get a coffee and set up the Zoom. So I will see the YouTube fam tomorrow morning. Have a good one and good luck trading.